In May 2026, the CEO of Google stood on stage and said something interesting. He said, "We are now in the part of the AI cycle where people want to see the value in the products they use every day. This is a clear sign that the AI boom is already moving to its final phase." Now, you may think this sounds like a CEO saying the usual CEO stuff. But there is a massive shift, because just 3 years prior, the same CEO on the same stage said this: "We have been applying AI to make our products radically helpful for a while. With generative AI, we are taking the next step. We are reimagining all our core products, including search." So he moved from "let's put AI into everything" in 2023 to "people want to see the value of AI." As consumers of technology products, we are used to seeing companies say things like this: "Every keynote is a future, every feature is revolutionary."
The next platform and medium will be even more immersive, an embodied internet where you're in the experience, not just looking at it. And we call this the metaverse.
But imagine if a car company announced a brand new engine and said, "This is the future of driving, we are reimagining the car." And then 3 years later, the same company stood on stage and said, "We're now part of the cycle where people want to see the value of the engines they drive every day." You would immediately think, wait, shouldn't that value have been obvious by now? There are 2 reasons why the AI era will end sooner than you think. The first reason is the speed of adoption. The personal computer took decades to become ordinary. Smartphones took years to become the default interface for life. ChatGPT, on the other hand, became mainstream at the end of 2022. By 2023, companies were racing to add AI features. By 2024, AI was in search engines, coding tools, classrooms, software, you name it. But by 2025, 2026, the conversation had already shifted from "what can AI do" to "where is the actual value?" Stanford's 2026 AI Index said that generative AI reached 53% of the population within 3 years, faster than the PC or internet. And this is mainly because AI didn't need a device to spread. The PC boom needed people to buy computers. In the US, household computer ownership went from 8% in 1984 to 62% in 2003. That's around 2 decades. The smartphone boom needed people to buy smartphones. Smartphone ownership among US adults went from 35% in 2011 to 91% in 2025. That's around 14 years. But AI can spread through the products that we already use: Google Search, Documents, Spreadsheets, Canva, Notion, you name it. And that compressed the timeline because that distribution network already exists. So in 2 to 3 years, AI is being used by nearly everyone. And it's at its peak. But like anything, what goes up must come down. Which brings me to my second point on why the AI era will end soon. The financial clock is ticking. Companies are paying for AI. AI is expensive. And I'm not talking about the $20 a month you spend on ChatGPT Plus. I'm talking about companies telling their devs to use AI. You must use the AI APIs. You must spend a specific amount of tokens per month. Because what happens is a company thinks AI does something fast, which means more or better products shipped, which means more money. Dumb way of thinking, because now we know it results in something like this: a company blowing through $500 million on Claude in just 1 month, or Uber blowing through their yearly AI budget in just 4 months, also spending millions of dollars. Do you think AI is giving them millions of dollars in profit back? No. It's probably maybe making people 10 to 20% more productive. Now, whether AI is making them do quality work, nobody can really tell, because how can you measure that? McKinsey's 2025 State of AI report found that AI is widespread, but most companies had not seen a major impact on earnings. In fact, only 39% recorded an impact on enterprise-level earnings from AI. Gartner has also reported that many Gen AI projects have been abandoned after proof of concept. And this was because of poor data quality, weak risk controls, escalating costs, etc. So companies are not seeing a return on AI. AI is not just another cheap software trend. It needs chips, it needs data centers, it needs electricity, it needs cloud infrastructure, and it needs enormous capital expenditure. Also, AI now costs more than employing a human. This is what NVIDIA executive Jensen has said. The cost of compute is far beyond the cost of an employee. But all of this means one thing: spending on AI is too large for companies to continue to spend. So the hype of AI must now convert to some sort of return, and it's not doing that. So how does the AI era end? Look, to much of the general public's dismay, I don't think everyone will be abandoning AI. I think it ends in 3 quieter ways. First, the label of AI-powered becomes meaningless, which, to be honest, is pretty good. Right now, every product wants to advertise AI. AI email, AI slides, AI coding, AI note-taking. We all are getting tired of it. But once every product has AI, the label doesn't really differentiate anything. Just like nobody says internet-powered banking anymore or an electricity-powered toaster, it's going to be the same thing. Second, weak AI products will die. All those generic wrappers, the gimmicky tools, the bad enterprise pilots, these products will start to struggle because companies will now ask, how does your product save money? How does your product make money, reduce risk, reduce employee effort, etc. And Gartner has already predicted that many AI projects will be cancelled by 2027. Third, and lastly, the surviving AI will just become boring infrastructure. We will get a few mega companies who will control the AI space. Whether it's OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, it'll be a very refined list. Think about smartphones. In the early smartphone era, there were a lot of companies and operating systems competing for the future. BlackBerry, Nokia, Palm, Windows Phone, Android, iPhone, etc. Now the operating system is just 2 markets, Android and iOS. The phone market still has several manufacturers, but we know the ecosystem is just dominated by a small number of players. And AI will probably follow a similar pattern. And then the AI that gets released will just get absorbed into our workflow naturally. Whether it's on search, email, whether it's on spreadsheets, nobody will actually care. The future will be less, wow, AI wrote my email, to I'm writing an email and I know in the back of my head AI is involved somehow, but I don't really care. And the general public just won't mention AI. They won't care what model they're using. They won't care what platform it's from. They won't care what updates they get. AI will just be there as a default. And that's how it ends. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my content, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.